Or what's the best way to Hey, so you have any other questions? I wanna make sure you're fully clear. And they might have. I don't want to be a pest, but I also want to. So I guess at what point am I being a pest?
I think that we think that we're being a pest before they think we're being a pest.
Okay.
And I think that so even with cold calling, you find that the average number of contacts that you make with somebody before they respond is 7. So I think that following up is always going to be like in line with you and your business. So I'd say continuing to follow up. Next call at the end of the day and just be like, hey, I don't mean to bother you, just want to make sure that we're on the same page, there's anything I can do, or whatever. Because a lot of times what they're gonna do is they're gonna say, what is this that you always hear whenever something like that happens? Oh my gosh, I didn't mean to reach you, but oh my gosh, you're just so busy with play. Y'all agree with that?
It's mostly text. Someday I left a quick voicemail. And no, I didn't leave voicemail. I called, but they didn't answer. So I left it. And then yesterday was just a text. They've been pretty responsive.
I was what's their
they're out of state. There's a renter in the property right now, and they're sick of paying to state taxes. So they want it to be done and over. The lease is almost up. So they're gonna list in the end of August when the revenue's out. But they were just in town last week. And I'm not super worried that they're looking elsewhere because every interaction we've had, it's my friend's parents. Every interaction we've had, they didn't look like they were shopping around. They just seem a little. But yeah, I don't think they're looking elsewhere. I just think they're.
And continue to bring them value. Like, hey, how do you line up this whenever the renters move out? Is that something that you want me to take care of? Or something like that. Just some sort of value item to where it's like, yeah.
Yeah, because they don't want to do anything once the renters out. So I could offer them.
Hey, Debbie, can you hear me?
These listings. You can do it in the comments section and I'll look back.
Say it again, Madison. I didn't hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. Sorry. No.
Hello? Can you hear me okay?
We'll get some information from him in a second on how he did it.
Are you talking to me, Madison?
Yes.
Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, we can hear you. How did you get the listings?
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Technical difficulties.
I think your question was, how did I get these?
Yes.
Okay. The first one was a past client helped them buy, and then now they need to sell. The second one, believe it or not,
I met them in an open house about 3 or 4 years ago, stayed in touch, and this is the third transaction I'm doing with them in Highlands Ranch. And I'm sorry, that was the Mountain Brush one. The Hemlock, met them at an open house. I did a barbecue at an open house about 2 years ago. Just kept in touch without being a pain in the neck. And they called me and they're moving to Grand Junction.
So much, bud. Follow up with your
Yeah, I mean,
Analysis.
follow up, try to provide value without just trying to get, I don't want to get anything from anybody. I just want to continue to provide value, and then just know that I provided enough value that if and when there's a need, that they'll call me, and that's when I'll get something. I think sometimes realtors make the mistake of, oh, hey, you got a pulse? I need a listing, or and I think it's kind of off-putting to people, to be quite honest.
Love that. Can you all hear him? From a mindset of giving and getting. And that makes it so much more fun anyway. You go into every day saying, what can I give to somebody? Rather than what can I get from somebody? And then whenever you give, it comes back tenfold. So,
So kind of the same old story. Inventory's down. Let's see here. I've got some stats. Inventory's down 21% from this time last year. Prices are up 13%. We talked about that last week. Cash buyers are up 25%. So that's what we're having to deal with out there. And that's up from 17% last year this time. Purchase applications have gone down, but because the cash buyers have gone up, that actually need to be quite across the board. So they're still saying there's not going to be an overall housing bubble, but it's quite easy for somebody to put themselves in housing bubble with ask this or ask. Now, they're bidding over the ask price, so they could easily put themselves in their own housing bubble. So just be cautious of that. I've got a great tool that tells them how long it'll, with the average of prices and inventory and all that good stuff going up, it tells them how long it's going to take them to recover that. And if it's too many years down the road, then they are going to put themselves into a housing bubble, and not advisable. So let's talk, bring it to me, we can figure it out, and just kind of tell them, okay, it's going to take you 20 years back, but it's worth it. That's something to be aware of. And more than half of the process or the purchases are out there bid over ask. Let's see, rates are still good. We're still at 4 points lower than we were this time last year. But remember, this time last year we were still kind of in the COVID. So that could be, and it was before rates really come down. So they're kind of holding steady. They're starting to rise a little bit with that inflation numbers that are going out, but they're still pretty good in right around that. If you have any questions. If you guys want somebody for a meeting, I'm just going to have I know. I'm sorry. I never even thought about it. It tells you like, oh yeah, do the same thing. Yeah, it's Surf Central Tutorial company. So if you're looking for somebody to through, let me know. Painting, like we got paint if you want to give surprise a clean. You guys saw it with this structure. So you're like, oh, that's nice. Yeah, exactly.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
Debbie, do you have something that you want to update on as far as the broker bikes go, or is it okay if we don't have the video? It's fine.
No,
We decided the video that we were going to play was a little past its date because we were like, we're loosening up on the mask mandate anyway, so it didn't really apply to us as much.
yeah, I mean, with the open house questions, and when a couple of these come through, just make sure that you check with the
the city and county, and especially the sellers. The seller that everybody's kind of gravitating towards, just make sure that if your seller wants people to wear a mask when they come in, then it's mandatory that they wear a mask because it is their property. So just stay cognizant of that and enforce what the seller wishes. And the other thing you're going to see changing, I've got a meeting with Broker Bay. They're the new showing company through our Colorado. So we are going to let showing time go. They charge us per listing when you put them in to schedule showings. So we are going to let showing time go, and it will save us about $10 a listing. Yeah. We'll get everything switched over to and it's free to do that. Free. Your dues just went up from $42.50 to $49.50, so I don't think it was all that free. However, it's now included in your higher dues. Our dues with RE Colorado. Yeah. Yep.
What was that collective?
I'll know after I get off.
Perfect.
Debbie, when you say you're letting it go on that road, is that?
So we'll, putting new listings on going forward, because once you put it in and signed it up through showing time, we already have been charged for that. And I'm happy to send those checks out for that. Moving forward, new listings, we need to put them into, you set everything up with Broker Bay, which means you'll have to get your stuff set up in there with Broker Bay. So when you go and you set up your lock boxes and all that, just go in and click on Broker Bay, and we'll get that all switched over this afternoon. With the earliest I can get on with them. So
Awesome.
and they're not owned by, the company that starts with a Z. I don't even like to say their name.
Who's on the need to make a t-shirt about that. I really do. That'd be really funny. Not me. Not claiming that. Any other office announcements or news or anything that needs to be brought to the attention of the office? That they can use. Here's what we talked about. Means to success. No, you don't need to write. I'll prompt you. I mean, unless you just want to. Any guesses on the 3 keys to success? One of them is this is Buffini's version of the 3 keys. Motivation. Mindset. Mindset is what happens between the 6 inches between your ears, right? Why do we have affirmations? Why do we have quotes that we listen to? Why do we have things like special forces in there that set us up to? It's because it helps us control what's happening right here, right? There's something that I love to I love this quote. It comes up every year. It's like this is Henry. We trust it every year. And I love it to this degree too. You know what breaks me? When someone is physically excited about a feeling or an idea or hope or a risk taken But they tell you about it and preface it with, sorry, this is but, dot, dot, dot. Don't do that. I don't know who came here before me, who conditioned you to think that you have to apologize or feel obtuse. But not here. Dream so big it's silly. Laugh so hard it's obnoxious. Love so much it's impossible. And don't you ever feel unintelligent. And don't you ever apologize. And don't you ever shrink so you can squeeze yourself into small places and small minds. Grow. It's a big world. There's room, you fit, I promise. And that is the environment that we want to create here at our office. We want to create an environment that when you walk in those doors, you can say, hey, that is not the environment that we're creating here. We are creating the environment where you walk in those doors and it says, okay, what's your plan? How are you going to do it? How can I support you? How can I encourage you? How can I connect you with people who have already done it, who have already created that path that you can follow lightly, right? So what ideas that we have around mindset? What are things that we can do within your office to improve our mindset? Is to do well. Because this is going to be the challenge to the culture committee to implement some of these ideas.
Goal law, even if it's every day, looking through the list and whether it jumps out at you because you need to work on it or because it's just like very prevalent, you know, in the happenings, you know, at that moment. I was in a very crazy just space in life, Lucas Shrines. You gotta choose how to use your time. And at the moment, it was kind of a slap in the face just because of what was going on. It was like you can have reasons or results. And actually, at that time, I kind of seen times of I used to be the one that just has reasons why stuff is not done. I am driven by results. And exactly, that was, you know, few words keep you on track. And a lot of times I would write it on a sticky note, you know, and just keep it in front of me. So it, you know, every time I was on my computer monitor, it was just it's repetition, just like anything else.
Love that. I love bold law day. I actually have a bold law. Or some, it doesn't have to be so bold. Every year I do a different one and I put a research on. You'll see I have a little puff and and it reminds me every day that I put on that I'm intentional about my actions and I'm intentional to get the work. Not my accident, it's because I made good intentions every single day.
I don't know about Ken, but as far as what you do with grade is, I am unreasonably excited about the bell.
About what?
The bell, or the thingy thing out there.
The bell!
I'm super excited about ringing that. I can't wait to do that.
Eddie, it's great. What else do you see positive mindset or positive affirmations or what? Give me a feeling or something that we do in the office. Maybe it's something that you do. I don't know. What do you do when we do that?
But very first thing that I listen to. It just it gets my attitude right. Think about the day before, think about the day ahead. I get it. Something that is repetitive, so to say, if it's not time to day, then your mindset is not going to be especially if you're not naturally a positive
Mhm.
person. I was raised in a very positive minded environment with my dad. My husband was not, we had conversations. He was very it was not normal, and it is, it's just a decision.
Other things. Or if you have a mindset, or if you have a goal, or something that you want to heart to or quote, share it in our Facebook group, share it in your text, share it with somebody, put it on your wall. Because it's such a great environment. Hey, so here's my turn now to here. We are here supporting support. So, thing is motivation.
We're gonna do a little journaling exercise. And I want you to, at the top of your paper, write what your goal is this year. Doesn't have to be, don't overthink it. It doesn't have to be income related. It can be anything related. What's your goal this year? Okay, now I want you to continue on and write. Do not overthink this. Let whatever words come out just flow onto the paper. Nobody's gonna read this but you. It's just a way for you to brainstorm. Why is that important? When you find yourself in a natural pause, ask yourself the same question again. Why is that important? When you find yourself.
Oh, you are.
Networking groups.
Have a conversation. Part of a cause, being part of something that you're passionate about. But still. Oh, now. This is good. Like hosted event.
Referrals. You're gonna put that networking in there.
Yeah.
Hey, that's my line.
Terrible.
That's another line, okay? Oh, mailers. Are you ready for your card on the sides?
Social media. Also using prospecting. Of these is binary.
Uber drivers is, as delivery becomes more popular, it's obviously going to demand more.
Binary only.
Comes at a time
Items only.
So there's none that we need to eliminate. So I want you to take 30 of these. And I want you to write one in each one. Underneath it, I want you to write the numbers 1 through 5. Only takes 3. On all of them, I want you to write 8 by 8. And number 2 on all of them, I want you to write 36 inch. The last 3 on each of them, you get to get creative. How are you going to network? How are you going to open houses? How are you going to go that? Can tell us what 8 by 8 is.
8 touches over 8 weeks.
8 touches over 8 weeks. What is 36 inch? 36 touches in here. What if we all just write here? Let's write it together. Okay, so wrap it up around the idea of what it's supposed to look like, how it's supposed to feel, what it's really supposed to have on it. This is your 20%. This is the reason. This is the action that are going to get you 21 on the other side of the paper. These are the items where we say we can be integrating for 2 hours a day. We can be doing it on that piece of paper for 2 hours a day. Everybody's just distracted by all the other things. So I wanted to write it down because I wanted to be very clear what you're going to spend. And one of the biggest mistakes you want anyone to tell you as a new agent or an experienced agent, I am so guilty of this, is I start bouncing around to all of these different places instead of thinking, only get through. If you decide that you want to, okay, I'm going to try to get open houses, you have to eliminate one of those columns because you cannot do more than 30. Not well. So, why do we do 8 by 8 36? Yep. Don't know what the results are. So, how many people do you have in your database? Let's say 500, 200. The ratio of people that you have put contacts, this is very easy. Is going to 36 touch. Two pieces of business. Whether that be a referral or so, number 3. What's this? You continue to just do phone calls and not follow up with them, and they stay. Methods. Yes. So 8 by 8. So in the looking at real estate agent, we have our model. What they say is any contacts that you have made before you put them into your database. Every week for 8 weeks. So 8 weeks in 8 weeks. Because in our mind, we only have room for 2 agents. There are only 2 agents in order for us to establish ourselves as one of those 2, we have to do the 8 by 8 system. So I'm just not going to go back and maybe the 8 by 8 database if you're your own sphere to re-enter the back into your database. Contact you in some way, whatever that is. So create a voice them. Next week I may follow up with following week I may happy to third week I may just talk about it. And years, you will form this 1 to 6 ratio. You have to be consistent. Questions? Comments?
Is the 8 by 8 and the 36 touch, when we're talking about that, that is like a manual intentional action. We're not talking about like a smart plan, right?
So what smart plans are in command is they are just a template. Think of smart plans as being templates. They are templates that can either automatically email out someone. So have you looked at what smart plans do?
Yeah.
So you could say, I need a reminder to call them. I want to send out this email to them the next week. On the 3rd week, I want to do this. On the 4th week, I want to do this. So it can either serve as a reminder or it can automatically email those emails out. So that's what the smart plan is.
Those are framework.
It's your framework for, because let's be real, if you are trying to have 500 people on a 36 touch, you're not going to remember where everybody is. But if you slide them onto a smart plan, it automatically does it for you and it reminds you, because you're not going to be able to call 500 people in 1 week. You have to have them alternate. So that's what it's about.
Thank you.
Sharing this. Even deeper in my career, it took a long time to remember when you're hungry for a paycheck. You get so hyper focused on who seems active right then, forgetting that it's like planting seeds. You don't know which one is gonna sprout fastest and strongest and be ready before the other one. And so with the 36, you imagine you're nurtured thousands of people at the same time. They may never come for you. but you're staying top of mind for referrals, for connections, for, you know, whatever we say, but we're saying contribution. In 10 years, that could come to fruition. Or one example that I've given recently, I have a couple that's never bought and sold, but they've given me over $10 million worth of real estate business. And so we get focused on them. The touches keep it more real and personal so that you're clearly
And imagine how much less time you have. Like, the most time, life in anything comes into putting the actions into place, to putting the systems together, to putting your database together, to tagging things, to putting them on smart plans. But imagine how seamless and how much time you will get back once you come into the office. Your 2 hours of Legion is you log onto your command, you're like, okay, I need to write these 5 people on handwritten note. I need to send these 5 people an email. Oh, social media, gotta make sure I write something about these people or whatever it may be. And you're done. Your lead generation is done for the day. It creates your to-do list. Whereas if you get stuck in the, I'm gonna do random things and I'm not gonna do 36 touches and I'm not gonna do 8 by 8, you're literally gonna have to make a whole, you're just gonna be lead generating all day. It's all week to maybe get one deal. How people build businesses based on referrals. How people build businesses and they're like, well, I don't have to lead generator. They're lead generating, they're just more systematic about it. And they've cut it down to a time where it's like they don't even think about it. They have their assistants put those 5 note cards on their desk. They have their assistants send out the emails. They may make the phone calls because they have them up on their list, but everything else is systematized.
I gotta say, if it's not systematized or you will do it, don't set it up. Set up what you will do. Because otherwise it's just, you know, they're goals.
The last thing I want to talk about is the fact that we see a lot of classes, things for us to teach, things that are, I want to challenge you before you sign up for any class, before you agree to any webinar, before you do anything, you read those 3 things and see if it aligns with those 3. Because you will get so distracted going to webinars on open houses and going to webinars on for sale by owners because it's flashy and it sounds great. And someone got 50 listings by doing expired phone calls. That's great, but if it's not in your 3 things, don't go to it. Don't waste your time. Find those pieces of information that are going to feed the systems that are on your paper. We have a couple of things that are coming up that I want to tell you. And that is a scripting practice program that you can buy into for scripting help. I think it's, I don't know, let me explain it to you. But it's a program that he's put together with agents across the country to help people script and to be consistent. Which is a tech class, which is all things command, is going to be here on Thursday, 17. It's free. And it's from 9 to 1:30. It is basically like the big reveal of technology, training, all things command in one class. It's free to everybody. We will be putting the link on the email as well as the link in the Facebook group. Matt's appraisal classes, which I know everyone's been asking about. Will be in mind, this is a very broad, basic understanding of appraisals. This is a surface level. This is a understanding the concepts. This is not a deep dive He is not going to go into all of the deep terminologies of an appraisal, but he's going to tell you how he gets the numbers that he gets. And how to make adjustments, that kind of thing. And then I have a friend, that you are struggling in these first two areas. Her business is about meals, movement, and mindset. And she's going to come and do a class on getting our minds right, getting our intentions right. I've done classes with her before too, so I know a lot of her. What are your takeaways?
I love this. My roadmap.
I think that we so often get this piece of paper put in front of us. We've all seen this, and we all freeze because we're like, just made me do that. That's scary. I don't know what to put on it. What are my priorities? What are my strategies? You just did it. So I actually printed out these. If you would like to rewrite it in a new form, you can. Yeah, keep it easy. There's no wrong with writing. The GPS is your success. It's not anybody else's, so it doesn't have to be.
Actually facing the things in her freedom, you know, like or whatever. So rather than to be afraid, just put those at your top of the list and just go for it. Because I feel it is the mindset. You know, I created a positive mindset for myself. And I go and do it. And it got worked out. You know, I will continue to do it, but maybe in a different way.
Sometimes mine says about smaller. Maybe not all. I would say my biggest win in the special courses was making my bed every morning. And I know it sounds crazy, but I've spiraled my whole life into like 40. And they better make. But yeah, that was a small win. So that was a mindset thing for me. Yeah, when I was doing this earlier, 2/3 of success have nothing to do with real estate.
House.
Right.
And so reflect on where your talents are, your past resources came from, your past careers. And the methodology is not necessarily that hard. It's part about keeping it systematic. And, you know, I have a girlfriend that she is like the epitome of Southern hospitality. She kept coming to me saying, she's living from Brooklyn. I just don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. And like, she is like a woman you want to like go have dinner with. You want to sit and talk with. And so she started delivering her chickens, eggs. And that's what people would expect out of her. And she had the biggest ear ever. Nothing to do with it. It was just right. Back to who you are and be true to yourself.
Your hot dog truck.
So,
I really hope your hot dog truck was one of your spaces.
events.
Because I mean, let's think of ways that we can go across the board and work smarter about how can we align these three things and make them do one thing 3 times rather than. Exactly. That's the idea of the poll. Let's figure out what we can do one time that hits all 3. 8x8, 36 touch. This can be the same. You may not write the same thank you though, or you may not write the same card. Well, have a heck of a week. See y'all next week. Also, if there's anything that you want to mastermind, like he just said, let's mastermind around a 36 touch. One touch is if there's anything like that you want to do, please come to me, come to the education committee, bring those items. We want to hear them. That's a great idea.